Welcome back to PPG Paints Arena, where the Blue Jackets have opened their Stanley Cup playoff series.
You didn't wear your uniforms tonight.
No, we didn't.
I'm sorry, Tom.
That's okay. It is the playoffs. There's going to be some scrums. There'll be some pushing and shoving. Anyway, the Blue Jackets 3-1 losers to the Penguins in this opening game. Penguins scored 3 goals in the second period and really kind of, I thought, pretty much sealed the game.
Yeah.
For me, other than maybe early in the first period, it looked like an extension of the last game played in here.
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think in the first period, the Blue Jackets, they had exactly the first period that they wanted. Everybody was going. The Wenberg line looked really good. I thought they were hitting. I thought they were playing the way that they want to play. They did everything but score. How many times have we said that here recently? And I think that moment passed them by. And when they play like that and get nothing out of it, and then the Penguins hang 3 in the second, you kind of look at the situation and think, are they going to score 4 goals here the rest of the way? They created a hill that was a little too steep for them to climb.
Mike, I know the playoffs and regular seasons are a different animal, but let's face it, down the stretch, this team was struggling to score. This is 9 times in the last 12 games they've failed to score more than 2 goals in a game.
And we mentioned that as one of 2 possible stumbling points, 2 or 3. But again, I turned that page. So in playoff series, usually top lines are worn down or eliminated as the series wear on. This was a little different in that the Penguins had Malkin and Kessel and Crosby, and the Jackets didn't. So there was the elite players came to play tonight, and Malkin took the game over essentially with Kessel in the second period, and that was it. They just salted it away with those guys. Now who in turn steps up for the Jackets?
Matt Calvert scored the one Blue Jacket goal. We caught up with him in the locker room after the game. He was talking about the need to have a short memory going into Game 2.
Yeah, as a hockey player, you got to have a short memory, especially in playoffs. And we'll think about it tonight. And I think when you go to bed tonight, you wake up, and tomorrow's a new day, and we move on to Game 2. And we've been in this position before, a few of us in here. I think they took the first one against us a few years ago. So, right now our focus is on getting a split at home, and we'll fix some things and be ready for Game 2.
This is a game that also, Aaron, will be discussed maybe with some of the lineup changes Blue Jackets opted to make. Zach Werenski came in, obviously a positive. I thought he was one of the real bright spots, 6 shots on goal, played well. But Tortorella decided to do some tinkering with his third pair. Gabriel Carlsson instead of Marcus Nudvar, maybe not a huge surprise given how much we've heard Torts talk about what he liked of Carlsson. But the decision to play Scott Harrington ahead of Kyle Quincy, your thoughts?
I just think, purely and plainly, Kyle Quincy not being in the lineup tonight after he was acquired, presumably for just this type of series for the postseason, for the stretch drive, to not have him in the lineup tonight, and then to find out afterward there's nothing wrong with him. It was coach's decision. That was a bit of a surprise for me. And you can, in the playoffs, this small issues become magnified. Scott Harrington has played almost no penalty kill this year. And to your point, he's on Kessel, and he's got to be cognizant of the passing lanes that are available because there's so much firepower out there. So he kind of sneaks away from Kessel's shooting lane, and you give Kessel that much time and space from that distance, and you see what he does. Perfect snipe goal, far corner, and it's 2-0. And a little thing right there. Maybe Kyle Quincy, who knows how it turns out. Maybe a veteran player plays that differently.
Who had played very well, by the way, with
been on the penalty kill.
With Seth Jones.
Yeah,
those two played pretty well. We also caught up with Zach Werenski after the game. Again, he played well, came through it okay. One of the things he was talking about is the Penguins did block some shots, especially as the game went on. He's talking about the ways that they either have to pump fake or just try to get some more shots on net.
I wouldn't say I was surprised. Obviously, it's playoff hockey, and it's a long series, and everyone wants to win, and it just shows what people will do to help their team win. So we weren't surprised. We have to find ways to open up shot lanes and get pucks to the net.
That's what I was going to ask you now. What kind of things can you do to create more of those shot lanes?
Some fake shots, I think, some pump fakes, just move the puck around, some one-timers. Just be ready to shoot all the time. Whenever you have a chance, just put it on net. Shots are valuable in the playoffs, and we saw it tonight here.
Mike, I know you got a chance to sit in on the John Tortorella's post-game remarks. What are some of the things that kind of stood out to you?
Well, first of all, I asked him about the defense changes in his lineup, and he just said, we looked at our defensemen, and those are the 6 we chose. If there was anything wrong with Quincy, he wasn't going there. He said it was a coach's decision. Those are his exact words first, right off the hop. He was effusive in his praise for Zach Werenski. He called him an inspiration that he hopes rubs off on the rest of his team. And Marc-Andre Fleury, who was the surprise starter tonight because Matt Murray was injured, we think re-injured a groin in warm-ups. Fleury's won a cup on his own. He was a backup last year as well, so it's not like this is foreign territory for him. But he was sort of tossed into the fray minutes before the game. And one of the things he said was that Werenski had a snipe. Remember, it was like midway through. It was a pretty wicked shot.
Yep.
Fleury said after that he said he had no more nerves and that he felt pretty good.
Yeah, and it was a good save. All right, so these two teams will be back here for Game 2 on Friday night. 3 years ago, the Blue Jackets were able to win Game 2, take the series home.
Who's going to score?
Well, they need to find
some. Yeah.
They need to find somebody because
that is the only mystery right now.
Do not think they want to go back down 2-0 to defending Stanley Cup champions. For Mike Arace, Aaron Portzline, Tom Reed, we'll see you tomorrow on Facebook Live, I think, at some point, and we'll see you here again Friday night.